We went into battle, we made the necessary steps, we threatened action, and we won that battle in relation to Grok, but we've got to do it with all AI bots, and we will do it. And we can do that by amending some of the legislation that we've already got in place. So that is where we're going with this. That is what we need to do. The status quo is not good enough. We need to protect our children. A government that is fighting for them, that we're their government in many respects. Now, good things have happened in schools in terms of standards. The last Labour government put in place the framework for that, and that's been built on, and we need to acknowledge that. But it still doesn't work in the way that it should. I want to go back to my family again because, as I say, I was fortunate. I was being fast-tracked through the system to get to that university place. It was the most incredible experience to go from a village on the Surrey-Kent border to the city of Leeds to go to university and to set me up for a legal career. A really fortunate chance for me to fulfil potential. But for my brother, as I say, had difficulties learning. The system did not work for him. He got put to one side. He got forgotten. He didn't get the support that he needed. And he had to fight every single day just to count, to be seen, to be taken into account. And one of the things that's etched on my mind is something my dad said to me over and over again when I was growing up. Because as I was going through the system, he said to me, "You're not doing any better than Nick, your brother. Nick is doing just as well as you." Because he wanted to instill in me that everybody should have the same chance, that everybody should be gauged by their own ability and have the ability to have that pushed through. And we need to do that now. Now, it's got better. I don't doubt that from when I was growing up. But is it really true? Do we put equal worth into children and young people who don't want to go to university? Do we really, really value apprenticeships in the way we should? I think apprenticeships are brilliant, by the way. I'd really champion them. I think it's fantastic to leave school and go into an apprenticeship, which is just as skilled, uses just as much brain power, allows children to really show what they can do. But do we really value it when we talk about what our children are doing? Do we really value and talk up apprenticeships in the same way? Because I don't think we do. I don't think that we do. We still have this tilt in the system that suggests university is one thing and apprenticeship is the other. That's not true. It's not right. I don't believe in that. And we need to level this up. We don't believe enough in work, the power of work, what people can do at work. We don't talk this up enough. And so we need to change the system. We need to fight the system. We can't be complacent about this and simply say, well, it's all right, we shrug our shoulders. We've got to fight, fight, fight for the children and young people who need our assistance to make sure they can go as far as their potential and their talent and their ability would take them. So we're fighting for them. And we're about to do a white paper, which is where governments get to set out their proposals about how we make education more inclusive so that every child gets that chance, whatever their background and whatever their ability, they get that chance to go as far as they can on their own abilities and their own talents. So that's what we're pushing forward. And I want to talk about another aspect of challenge for children and young people, and that's social media. Now, confession, I have two teenage children. My boy is 17 and my girl is 15. So I see this in the way many, many parents do, with a real sense of concern about the time that's spent on social media, the content that's available on social media, the addictive nature of a lot of what's happening on social media, the way it draws children in and takes away other aspects of their growing up because it's all online, it's all on their phones or their screens in front of them. I don't think there's a parent in the country who isn't worried about this, by the way. I really don't. Everybody's worried. And they feel, how am I supposed to police this on my own as a parent? And it's very, very difficult. And we as a government need to be up there alongside parents, providing leadership and support for them when it comes to social media. and we will. Now, we've already announced that we're going to do a consultation on banning social media for under 16s. And that will start very soon. But I'm really clear, the status quo, things as they are now, is not good enough. Nobody can make the argument that things can be left as they are. They can't, they're not protective of children, and we intend to act. But what we're doing now is taking the powers available to make sure at the end of that consultation we can move really fast. Because what can happen with governments, you saw it with the last government, we had an Online Safety Act, which is good because it restricts what's available online. The trouble is it took 8 years from the original idea to get to an outcome. We can't have 8 years when it comes to social media and whether we ban it or massive restrictions in place. So we've taken the powers now, we're taking the powers to make sure we can act within months, not years. We also need to act very quickly, not just on the age concern, but on the devices and applications that mean the sort of auto-scrolling, the constant gluing to the machine, that you can never stop scrolling and it just encourages you, or that one thing follows from another. We have to break that habit to stop the addictive nature. We also need to do with AI bots. This is something relatively new, and we saw with Grok. Did you see the thing with Grok just the other week? An AI bot that allowed you to instruct it to undress people. And it did. It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And we went into battle on that because I thought this is not good enough. We went into battle, we made the necessary steps, we threatened action, and we won that battle in relation to Grok, but we've got to do it with all AI bots, and we will do it. And we can do that by amending some of the legislation that we've already got in place. So that is where we're going with this. That is what we need to do. The status quo is not good enough. We need to protect our children, and this government is making protecting our children a number one priority. So whatever is necessary in relation to social media, we will take those steps because it's been talked about for a long time. As I say, there's not a single parent in the country who isn't really worried about this, and many more besides. But we can't just wait and take years and years and years. We need to act very quickly, and that's what we're intending to do. So I wanted to share that with you. We're going to now take some questions from some of you. Then I'm going to take some questions from the media, and then we're going to have a cup of tea, which will be very nice. So anybody got a question? Just, yes, madam.
Hello, my name's Ali. I'm with the NSPCC and Voice of Online Youth. The NSPCC do a lot of work around harm reduction and harm prevention. We are just wanting some clarification on the government's plans for that in regards to online safety.
Yeah, I think there's two elements of that. We've got the Online Safety Act. That is a good thing. It took 8 years to get there, but it is a good thing. We need to make sure that's used properly and to full effect, because there's more we can do with it, and we need to amend it in certain places, because one of the difficulties here is that the technology moves on so quickly that the legislation struggles to keep up, which is why for AI bots, for example, and chat bots, we need to take the necessary measures. So that's the one route. The other is, what more do we need to do? This is where we're looking at access for under 16s. Should it be banned altogether? Should it be much stricter content control? And what goes with that, by the way, is how do we make sure children don't operate to get around the rules? Because I think it's hardwired into the job description of children, isn't it? That if there's a limit on when you can do something, the first question will be, how do I get around that? And there are VPNs which can be really effective in relation to that. So all these measures need to be taken. What would you say, madam?